Oh, fisheye. Oh, I guess I could see it being fisheye. Alright, so in the top left-hand position as the red Protoss, we have DM White. And in the right-hand side as the yellow Terran, we have Quikz. White, I want to say White is like a 2K Protoss, somewhere around that range. And I think Quikz, although it's been a while since I know last I was playing with him, he was like 1600-ish, so probably somewhere around there, maybe 1700-1800. And PvT, I would say White is most likely the favored player, unless either one of them has made some serious improvements that I'm unaware of, especially with it being PvT, which tends to be a nice matchup for Protoss, especially at these levels. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Quikz definitely doing some baller organizing work, particularly when it comes to his Shinhan Tank League. In fact, you should just see the OP and stuff. The OP is fantastic. Interviews, just, beautiful organization, beautiful thread. And it's well enough organized and such to the point that, you've got clans like White participating in it. And I can't think of the other clan, but it's another decently well-known one. That has Scan in it and Shiny in it. And Scan and Shiny are playing, and White, the organization of the league and setup of the league is enough that White actually cares about winning. So they're actually sending Best and Mind to play against Scan and Shiny, and I think Miso is also playing for that. So it's brought some strong players out to play, and it's kind of cool to see some of the Koreans mixing it up in a foreign tournament, bringing their team hitters. In a foreigner 1v1 league, I don't know if I agree with it, but I can see the whole, okay, Korean players are a problem because of the skill difference. But, when you start getting a team league with a bunch of Koreans playing, and they're, kind of evenly mixed across teams like we have here, Scan and Shiny against Best and Mind, like, that's fantastic in my opinion. I mean, okay, maybe foreigners don't have a chance, but, if you're just getting Koreans to take it seriously enough and kind of getting the two scenes a little bit of crossover in a way that provides interesting, more reasonable games, like, that's cool, man. So that'll be awesome to get to see some of those games casted. Because you basically got Koreans now playing in a foreigner league, which hasn't really happened before. And okay, we have the Nexus first getting bunker rushed. Bunker going down a little bit on the early side, and he only made one Marine, so this is maybe more just a fake rush to pull probes. Oh, he hasn't seen the bunker though, so this could actually be bad for White. But it's more of a fake bunker rush because he only made one. Quikz is probably sad now because that bunker is completed and White has no fucking clue. Like, if there were more Marines rallied across the map, this would have a decent chance to get some damage done. Now the probes are going to be pulled. We'll see if we can intercept the Marine. Pretty good chance to do it with 4 probes. There's no like SCV pain train coming across the map, so Quikz is basically just going to have to deal with this. In fact, he's not even trying to get the Marine in the bunker right now, which is kind of funny. He's like scared of the probes. This is making White basically eat economy. Let's see if we can sneak one in there. No. Wait, what? No, yeah. So say it looked like a no, and it was a no. And Quikz just proceeding with his factory as normal. White keeping these probes off gas for quite some time, off minerals for quite some time. Gonna go ahead and take down that bunker. Does not need to have all the probes, but I guess he's worried because normally the way this would proceed is usually when you got about 2, maybe your 3rd Marine on the way, then you send over your SCVs and start building the bunker at that time. Because if you just build the bunker with 1 SCV, Protoss just pulls a few probes and kills the bunker. But if you kind of wait till you got 3 Marines coming across, there's still no Zealot, so you can start putting that down. And then there's this much shorter timing window for Protoss to go, oh shit, and react to it. So you'll see a lot of good Terrans wait, and they don't just build the bunker right away, they kind of wait for a couple of Marines and then go. And then depending on how committed they're being, they'll bring 4, 5, 8, 10 SCVs across the map to ensure the Nexus goes down. But White gets it up relatively pain-free. Yes, he had to pull probes, and that was kind of a win for Quikz, but economically, Quikz played Factory Expand, not even Rack CC, so it's a pretty comfortable position for White to be in right now. See, Quikz is getting his command center and factories up. Going to a very fast 2-fact. So possibly some light pressure on the way here from Quikz. We shall see. We shall see. And what do we have here? 2 Dragoon across the map, and a probe just doing a little bit of scouting, or maybe he's going to take a third base. Is he going to take a third base? It's looking like it. Minerals are getting kind of high. Minerals are getting kind of high. He's going to take a third base. Damn. Alright. Wow, that is some greed right here by White, let me tell you. That is some greed. Nexus first, an immediate 2-gate third. He's only made 4 Dragoons. He's made 4 Dragoons and took a third off of 12 next, like before even range. Like if Quikz had done Fact CC, I think White would be like Fact CC fact timing. Like White would have just been fucked. And I don't think he got his scat in. Like I don't think there's any way for White to have known that Quikz wasn't doing that. So ballsy move, and there still might be an opportunity for Quikz to do something here. And you can see he's getting mines and speed vultures, so this could be a little bit dangerous for White. Because by the time Quikz moves out, White is not going to have that much. Although it would be nice if he had a tank or 2 more. The lack of tanks, but no, Quikz is just setting up at home. That's a little unfortunate. Yeah, Fact CC Fact would have been devastating in the circumstances. You know, 3 or 4 tanks coming across the map right now with rallied vultures. White's just like freaking out. Possibly going to go Reaver. Nope. Alright, so White's just playing this with total confidence / greed that Quikz can't do anything to him. And Quikz immediately adding factories. 4? Is he going to go for... Is he going to commit... This is going to get wrecked if he goes for 4 or 5 facts. I hope that's not what he's planning to do. I mean, this guy just took 12 necks and fast third. Like, this is going to wreck this timing. So this is a little bit unfortunate for Quikz. Not the build of choice when Protoss has gotten away with these sorts of expansion rates. You know, White is already rolling on a 3-base economy right now. He's basically putting down his 4th and 5th gateways. The second Quikz is getting his factories. And he's going to have the ability here with a slight probe cut to put down, you know, 6, 7, 8 gateways and just explode with macro if he wants to. Now, if Quikz can get some damage done with the vultures, that might open up some windows, but White seems wise to this right now. Now, he doesn't have any Dragoons over here, so if the vultures go over here, that's going to be annoying. He's not going to be able to really do anything about the vultures attacking these pylons. We'll see if he opts to kill off one of his own pylons to come back and defend that. Adding a gateway over here. Is Obs? Where does Obs go? Oh, his Obs probably got to go with the goons. So that's sort of good for Quikz. Yeah, White's going to have to kill off that pylon. Looks like the vultures will not make it in. Dragoons will kill the pylon significantly faster and then get over there. And Quikz is going to hit that vulture macro. Only 2 tanks so far. 3 tanks. Alright, well, it's producing some tanks. Okay. We at least got the tank going now. Can he get in? No, it looks like White is ready over here too. So vultures are being efficiently denied. Supply's pretty high for Quikz right now because he is making all those vultures. White is off of 5 gateways. Probably needs to get a gateway or 2 more, or this could be an issue. He hasn't thrown down, you know, his gate macro quite as fast as we might have liked to have seen, but we can see he has gone a little bit easy on pro production, it looks like. And man, he's going for archives too. He's just getting absolutely everything. Does not have a huge army though. Keep that in mind. Whereas Quikz is going to have a scary army. This timing and the way White is playing, if Quikz has good control, it could give White some trouble. Except does he have necessary DT handling implements? That fast archives could give Quikz some headaches. Alright, so here comes the scout from White. Nothing to deny it. And here we go. Quikz coming across the map. White has the superior macro now, with 6 gateways up and running. That's a decent number. It'd be better to have 7 or 8, but he knows what he's up against, and he can prepare for it. We'll see if he's going to make any DTs. Looks like the answer is, for now, no. But there we go. Now we see the addition of gateways, and he's thinking, oh, this is actually slightly more scary than I thought. Quikz immediately sieging up on the high ground, but the problem is he is running out of time to cross this void. He's already like coming out here, and if he goes too slow, White's going to get another round or two in off these gateways, and his leg speed is going to finish if it isn't already. Yeah, his leg speed is going to finish, and that is going to be a major issue for Quikz to deal with. And the shuttle is out for White, which is good. And it looks like White has what he needs to deal with this at this stage. He's got a lot of Dragoons in there, almost a group and a half, and Quik's tank count is pretty low. I don't really see this working, especially since he's going to have to attack up onto the high ground at this point. He's just given White a little too much time when there wasn't much time to begin with against this fast of a double expand from Protoss. But Quikz is certainly setting up a serious little army down here, but the more time he gives, the more time White can just chill and happy days macro. He's up to 4, 7, 9, 10 gates now. Yeah, so 10 gates rolling away from White. Although I gotta give Quikz credit. It's pretty ridiculous how big his supply is compared to White's at this point in the game. But White has gotten a lot of tech early on, and only recently at his gateways. There's a few DTs out, but Quikz had plenty of time to set up turrets. And now Quikz looking for the high ground, which is going to force White's hand. And here we go. A few Zealots running in. Would be nice to see a few more Mind Drag. Good Mind Drag at the front. A couple Zealots being dropped on the back of the tanks. Nice target firing from Quikz. But look at this army here from White on the high ground. But does not want to commit to it yet. Wants another round of Zealots. Nothing wrong with that. He's kept Quikz off of his high ground, and he's pretty much thinned out the Vultures, and is going to have much faster reinforcements. And now, here we go. White goes again. Does he have a round of Zealots coming forward? No, but he does get a few DTs on the tanks, which is worth something. But he needs a round of Zealots to come in here and just run into this tank line. If he gets that, he will just eat these tanks alive, but that round of Zealots is not in production. White missing macro at the wrong time to miss macro. And Quikz still has these tanks down here, and White has not eaten into Quik's tank count, although he's keeping the Vultures low, so a wave of Zealots is still dangerous, especially with tanks on the low ground, and a lot of Dragoons up there, but that is quite a few tanks from Quikz. Doing a good job off of his 5 facts, but he's not expanding, so he's still kind of all in here, and White's just free to chill off these bases. Looks like he's not going to make Templar. There's a macro wave of Zealots. We've got a nice little drop on these tanks, which is good. He's going to pick off probably one with the DT. Switches his target firing. Can he get the other one? Yes, he can. So there's a nice 2 tanks picked off. And now this army looks pretty thin again. Quikz has a few Vultures, a few tanks to reinforce down here, but still on the low ground. Got a lot of supply depots. And I'm really surprised Quikz isn't expanding. He's kind of putting up some defense here, like he really wants to just hold this position. But you can't just sit and hold a position when Protoss is a base up against you. And now there's getting to be quite some Zealots down here. Scan goes up. White is going to pull his army back. I'm surprised he's seating his choke, though. I think he's probably ready to go for it. Alright, here we go. So now White coming down from the high ground means it's also going to take a little longer to see him. It looks like the Zealots are trickling through pretty good. This should be the engagement White needs. Zealots getting on top of the tanks. Dragoons need to be walked forward just a little bit more, but there are plenty of Zealots in here on top of the tanks. More Zealots, and yes, the army from Quikz is finally completely smashed. Just too much macro here from White, and that should be major trouble for Quikz, as White is vastly ahead economically, has decent economy, and is White just going to go across the map and eat Quikz alive? It's certainly possible, especially if he gets these reinforcements over here. Plenty of Zealots here to get onto this final tank. Target firing that nicely. A few mines being laid, but White microing back. Doesn't have an observer over here. Might be nice to have that. But this is cleaned up, and Quikz is being ridiculously persistent about this. He really needs to go back, trying to make this stick, trying to make it work. It's not. Dragoon's nicely on hold position for White here, who is... Oh man, White is really having some macro struggles. Look at all these Zealots. He should be going across the map right now and winning the game, but is not completely on top of his macro, and has some serious rally point issues that have not been noticed yet, that are basically keeping his army way too thin. He's still fine. He's still fine, but realistically, there's no reason with a double supply lead he can't go across the map and just smash what remains of these small numbers of Vultures and such. Has a Stargate up now. Is there Arbiter Tech anywhere? Plenty of units over here. Has he discovered a Zealot? No, he still hasn't discovered a full control group of Zealots sitting in his natural. And his money is kind of out of control. We got a little bit of Vulture harass over here, which actually might get some probes. Although the Dragoons are coming over, trying to glitch on top of that. Not bad there. Takes care of that. Only loses a couple probes. So no real gain from that. Quikz does get a 3rd base up, and it's a little odd how passively White is playing right now. Please discover your misrallied gateways, White. Please discover your misrallied gateways. Quikz adding a few factories. Still on top of his macro quite nicely. Has that third base running. Probably has no upgrades though. Does he even have an armory for that matter? I think he had a Goliath in there, so maybe he does. Actually, I don't see one though. I don't see an armory anywhere. So yeah, that's not ideal. And White, I don't know why White doesn't want to kill him, but he's just going to go expand, I guess. Clean out some lines. Finally, nope, there we go. He's like, oh, yeah, my army's really fucking big. I can just go smash and tear and shit. I mean, all that's standing between White and victory right now is like 6 vultures and 4 tanks. I mean, there's no way Quikz can survive that. White can just shove his Protoss army down Quix's throat. The classic, stereotypical 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, bye-bye. Alright, Quik's gonna lose his barracks, so that'll put an end to factory addition for now, but he's got 8 facts up now, which is good for him. Vulture's still trying to do some damage, but not really succeeding. Now there's extra cannons up, so just a few more donated vultures. White, what are you doing? You are 80 supply ahead of Quikz. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this to us? All these mines can just be... I mean, it's a great minefield, but there's no tanks supporting it, so you can just pick off like 80% of them. Adding even more gateways. This gateway can no longer make dragoons. In fact, I don't even know if it can make anything. Don't put your gateways quite like that. It's got to be a space somewhere to get out. If it's completely hexed off, dragoons you'll pay for the money, but watch this dragoon. I'm pretty damn sure there's no space for it to spawn. It just doesn't exist. I think you get a refund, but I forget how that works. You can even see the factories. Just go kill him! Come on, White! What are you doing? You can end this nonsense right now. You can just throw armies at this and expand while doing it, and then you don't even ever have to worry about running out of money. But at one point you had like 5.5 control groups and he had 4 tanks on a high ground. That's just... no way can that... There's like no way to mismicro that, short of just stop commanding your army. Like spam stop commanding your army. So White is expanding down here. Has a boatload of gateways. A couple arbiters, getting some recall. And a pylon wall over here, gonna shut down those vultures. Cannon's about to finish, so the vultures can't do anything. White's gonna come over and clean them out anyway. Maybe, if the dragoons decide to behave themselves. Quikz decides to attack the pylons. And really, this is very passive right now. Okay, Quikz is getting a starport, he's getting a science facility, so at least he's getting his tech. He's got his armories rolling, but it's gonna be ages before he has upgrades. He's not gonna have 3-3 until like 25 minutes. He's got another long ways to go. And White should have some sort of upgrade already. He's got at least 1-0. Where's the forge? Oh, the forge is over here, right? Yeah, he's got double forge over at this base, getting armor, not getting weapons yet. That's so many units. My god. 1 group, 2 group, 3 groups of zealots, 1 group, 2 group. That's close to a 6 control group Protoss army. Which means 2 things. 1, it's a ridiculous fucking army that's a pain to deal with, but number 2, it means there's actually not that many probes. And we can kind of see that because there's almost nothing in the main. There's almost nothing in the natural. There's some saturation there, but he's basically only got about 2 bases of probes. And he's got a ridiculous army. usually not ideal. Little too much supply to have an army, in all honesty. Something closer to 70 probes is probably the comfortable number to sit on for a macro game. Gives you enough room to have, a little over 4 control groups with a couple arbiters in there, which is a pretty respectable army, but not so much that you just don't have an economy. Well, White, I guess, is playing this in the super passive way, and Quikz obviously has to play passive until he gets to 200-200, like he doesn't have any other options. Although it might make sense for Quikz to try to turtle this out a bit more and take some of the map. He's going to do a little bit of dropship harass. White should see it. A little bit of an overreaction to dropship harass, in all honesty. Oh, okay, that's the one way to deal with a dropship. I like it. If you got an Arbiter sitting over there, just go ahead and, you know, leave enough Dragoons so it'll die. What? Oh, okay. Quikz gets a Vessel and a Goliath out, and still has no turrets defending his main. He is mining the living daylights out of his main base. This is gonna go hardcore turtly. Sit back, grab a book to read or something like that, and settle in for some hardcore turtling PvT. Well, White was obviously paying attention to that, as he immediately moves his Dragoons the second the dropship dies. Quikz has everything on siege. Is he going to move to low ground? He needs to take bases. Or somehow doom push White, but White has a fuckload of gateways, and full tech, and a 6 control group army, so I don't really think pushing out is Quix's option. I think he just has to try for something split map oriented. White is very content, though, to just sit happily on his ridges. He's got a ridiculous bank. Quikz has no money. He's broke. This game realistically should have ended about 8 minutes ago. Some awkward rallies, unit positioning here for Quikz. Is he going to do something, or is he just comfortably just chillaxing unsieged? Almost enough energy to recall. Alright, White's gonna go for it. He's gonna pull the trigger! Fuck yeah, go for it! Attack! Let's see what happens. It's like a 6 control group army. Now Quikz, of course, is out of time to reach max, so it's possible that that army would not be able to kill this army. But I was kind of hoping he was gonna pull the trigger. Just do it! You've got so much shit, it's really hard to lose from this position. Theoretically, you could fuck it up, but okay, so we get a stasis on the vessel. Here comes the giant-ass army of White. Unfortunately, half the goons are not going to fight, so that is not so good. There are a lot of mines here. Some of them are good, some are bad, but it looks like Quix's army is actually pretty strong, especially without some goons fighting and attacking up the hill. At 200-200, it's just hard to attack into Terran no matter what you have. But going to pull back. These vultures are going to move towards their death, and it looks like this is going to be enough for Quikz, perhaps, to push out. Now he should just come in and recall with this. Grab these Dragoons, recall. Oh, actually, there's no point. There's actually no point to recalling anywhere but here. Especially with how mined up Quikz is. Like, it's not really worth it to recall the factories. Especially since Quikz doesn't even have a lot of money. He's only mining from one base. So this is kind of Quix's last army. Unless the army just goes in little skirmishes. But if there's one more big battle, Quikz will not be able to re-macro quickly. Pulls back the single vulture. Microing a little bit there. And now Quikz goes to the middle high ground pod. Observer should die. But White will see it, and it looks like White is going to get a decent flank off and should finish off this army of Quikz. Because now it doesn't appear to be supported by much. Here we go. Protoss coming in from a lot of positioning, from a lot of angles. Where's the rest of his army? Is there enough here? Yeah, the zones are a bit clumped, and a beautiful D-Matrix on that front tank, and it might be enough for Quikz to hold. White's going to punch through with the good. No, he's going to pull back, so that's fine. So yeah, Terran armies can be pretty strong there. I don't know if White actually had all of his supply with him, but he does have just an unbelievable number of gateways right now. And again, Quikz is just on borrowed time because that's the last army that Quikz has. So once it dies here, and it can't be reinforced very quickly off of one base, that should be about all she wrote for Quikz. He's not even trying to take other bases, which is a bit concerning. White moving this Arbiter. No, don't do this, White. There's nothing there. Don't do it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. No. No. I wonder if Quikz. Yeah, I guess Quikz has to go back to some degree, but he can probably just like defend it with units coming out of his factories. He probably doesn't even have to move this army in the center. Like, he's gonna lose some depots, which I guess sucks, but. Actually, it's going to trigger him to push from the high ground here. White just has an awful not lot of units over at this base, so he's actually going to take some damage over here. Might lose part of his main, but he's cleaning up some supply depots and such in the natural, and stopping reinforcements from Quikz, so that part's cool. Whoop, whoop. Gateway going down. I guess he's going to macro mostly out of here. Yeah, he's just going to macro a bunch of stuff out of here. Still maxed. Quikz is about to run out of money. So Quikz is basically stuck at 100 supply. It's like his last army, more or less. And White's sending a force out here along the bottom of the map. Stopped Arbiter production over here. We'll see if he allows Quikz to push into his natural or not. This base going down, but basically no minerals left there, so no value. And of course no other bases for Quikz, so this is it as far as money goes. And White is... I don't know what White is doing, but he is just kind of chilling. He's just kind of chilling. He's maxed. Is he going to do another recall? No, he's just got an obs. He's got some obs out. Pretty good obs coverage. Quikz has made a few turrets over here. I don't know why he wants this position. There's nothing over here. It really makes it worth holding. Like, White probably doesn't even care about it. He's probably just like, okay, kill some gateways. I guess he doesn't want to lose his tech, but he just rebuild it right now if he hasn't already. Yeah, he's already rebuilt it, so that's good. Doesn't give a shit about that base. Guess he's gonna swing around from behind and just finish this army off, and that'll be all she wrote. Quikz, you are kind of defiant. You're pretty dead. You're pretty dead. Surprised you haven't given up the fight. Alright, so White is going to clear out all these mines. Center position goes back to White. Still an annoying group of units here for Quikz to deal with. Although it will actually kill it because there's enough vultures in there to deal with this just fine. So Quikz is going to slowly siege his way out of the base. I don't see how he can possibly link up his armies though, with White's giant-ass army sitting in the middle, so it's kind of a useless... Oh, could he get a Mind Drag? It'd be a Mind Drag of Legends if he's got a couple of these to blow up. So Quikz is killing off some gateways over here. And White just like recall on this now. That's like a worthwhile. Or recall on this, it's done for. That's like a good spot for offensive recalls. Looks like White is maybe just going to attack the main of Quikz. I don't know, that is a lot of tanks on the low ground though. Coming through a tight choke, it might not work. Especially if half his army goes somewhere it shouldn't. But here we go. White coming in. Zealots, Pain Training trying to get on top of some of the tanks. It looks like it's going to be enough to clean up what remains of these tanks. And now he's coming down from the high ground. Should be able to get some Dragoons in there and clean out the rest of it. And that is absolutely it for money. Can he finally get the Mind Drags? No, no. Oh man, it is hard to get those Mind Drags. Actually, is Quikz going to slightly hold his factories? This is going to be kind of the immaculate hold. If he pulls it off, no, he's not going to hold. Not going to... Actually... he shouldn't really be able to hold. Alright, so we've got an army from Quikz coming down here. He's cleaned up the factories. Is there any danger for White? Somehow this base died. Oh man, White missed some serious macro, I think. Where's the Arbiters? Why doesn't he just offensive recall this and put it out of its misery? This is actually a little bit... this is almost a nervy moment for White. Alright, recall... Oh, he's got good stasis. Okay, never mind. White's fine. He's no longer scared, if he was scared. So Quikz has lost factories. Once this dies, we should see GG. He's left a couple tanks over here. I don't know why. That makes 0 sense to me. There's no real value in holding that position at this point. Quikz is microing his heart out with a vulture and a half. But now it is White who has control over the tanks. And a large reinforcement just needs to keep these gateways running, which you better believe he is. Cleaning out Quix's main. And Quikz should be GGing. Maybe he's going to hope that something goes well with this set of units. But he can't do anything. He's out of money, more or less. I mean, can't really afford to produce anything. Scan goes down. Nice timing of Quikz to know when his stuff was going to unthaw. Alright, should be GG at any point. As it is obviously over. What the fuck? Goddamn Terrans! You're dead as fuck. What? What? What the fuck? Why the fuck are you building a CC here? What? What? Quikz, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, I mean, okay, if you don't want to concede defeat, but why is the CC not, like, somewhere that makes sense to build it? What are you going to do with it over here? There's no minerals on this side of the map. You literally have to float it down to here. You can't kill down here. The only thing you could do is take some of your shit and try to, like, I do not understand this CC at all. It's like the reverse manor CC. Okay, 40 supply against 180 supply. 40 supply against 180 supply. All the supply depots, all the buildings are dead. This command center is floating away to somewhere that makes no sense. I don't know what this command center is doing. I guess it's cool to kill the Stargate. Looks like you can kill it before the Arbiter finishes. Okay, Quikz has dropped a CC now, also in the bottom right-hand corner. That's a CC that could actually do something, but it's just been scouted, so it won't. You know why it's going to react to this triple CC from Quikz, because he lost all his production, so all he can do is make CCs. Repairing this CC. Alright, and cleaning out the final stuff. Okay, there's a single vulture over here defending. The main is now completely dead. Quikz is trying to rebuild depots. Quikz, I guess I admire your defiance, but yeah, this is the epitome of Terran. This is like such a Terran thing to do. We're at 41 supply. We have no factories. Protoss is maxed and has 3 bases, and it's not GG time. That's such a Terran mindset. It's such a Terran mindset. I've got 2 tanks on the high ground and a wall. I can defend. I can win. I can turtle the victory. All right, so this CC is shut down, and this one should be promptly. It's not mining. There's no factories. There's no way of ever building depots. He doesn't even have enough map to build depots and factories on. And that CC is dead. 1 vulture harass. Yes, go! Go, Quikz! 1 vulture! I don't believe, I guess, the vulture died. Oh, okay, there's a CC over here. I guess I'll go kill that one too. And unsiege these tanks. Build a barracks! Yes! Yes! Build a barracks! I wonder if there's a grudge here. This is like ridiculously persistent. This is like incredibly persistent. He's repairing the CC! Alright, at some point, like, is White actually gonna have to drag his army over here and kill these tanks? Like, Quikz has 7 tanks left and nothing else, and a floated CC and some barracks, and 2 vessels. And White still has an 8k bank, 3k gas, with arbiters and max tech. Alright, here comes White across the map. The tanks are sieging up here. He's gonna try to land the CC and mine the last, like, 100 minerals. He'll have enough to build 3 marines from that. Nice D-matrix on the tank, I guess clears out those dragoons. There's a recall. Okay, the tanks are actually gonna have to die. And GG is said, at least 10 minutes too late, but it is said, and White will take game 1 of White versus Quikz. Okay, we have to upgrade mid-cast. Do you see this? Do you see this? It's gonna literally make me upgrade mid-cast. White saying I need to make Longinus now. These comments. Alright, so I guess we're waiting on this update. Alright, the update's done, so now we can continue. So he's saying I need to make Longinus now, so I will pay attention to that and make Longinus now. Alright, which one is Longinus? There's like 2 of these. This is Jade, so that's not what we need. So I guess it's Longinus. I'm just going to take your word on it. You're sure this is the right game, White? I just want to make sure. So let's make sure. Oh, because Longinus was game 1, so these reps are just like not numbered right. So alright, we'll go into Longinus and then we'll see what happens after that. White 1 and it is on Longinus. So, in the top left-hand corner, as the Red Terran, the master of not GGing, defiance till the end in the soul of the Terran race, which I guess is fitting given his tag, is Quikz. And over on the right side, the dominant victor of Game 1, despite the length of the game, is the Blue Protoss DM White. So, Quikz last game got behind from White's early fast expansions and did not pick the right options to deal with it. Might have had options with Fact CC Fact or possibly a greedy 4-fact skipping a CAD and eBay or something like that. Might have been timings that could have hit that, but 5-facting when Protoss just gets 2 free Nexus and you play and you're not doing Rack CC or something like that, it's just too late of a timing. And then White had complete control of the game from there. So we'll see if Quikz can have a better build for this game. Alright, so Depot at the natural. Although I have to give you credit, Quikz, your armies were efficient. I guess some of that is because you were able to just have them beautifully set up, but White did throw a lot of units at you to kill the small amount of stuff you had comparatively. So we got the depot up, here comes the barracks! Yeah! Get there! Alright, so it's just gonna wall off here. So probably this is Rack CC. No, it is not Rack CC. It is gonna be gas. Does the wall make sense here? I feel like if you come with Dragoon pressure, the wall just gets in the way of bunker repair. Not sure I like it. Not sure I like it. And we'll see what build White opts for. Okay, he's pylons the wall. He's going to keep the wall from getting blocked. Zlot Harass is on deck. He is on deck, and of course this is extra annoying because the wall is integral to the pathing for the barracks Marine Micro. But it might be that he can... Oh, actually, no, I guess he can get that done. So there's still a position for it. Never mind, he's still got what he needs. Quikz is okay in that sense. It's too bad White isn't just 10-15 gating this shit, because I feel like it would be horrible for Quikz if he did. Because you need a bunker. Well, I guess if you play FD, you don't need a bunker. Oh, actually, I don't know. I don't know how that works. Against 10-15 on low ground, maybe you do. I have not played enough Longinus low ground PVT to know how that goes. Because if you need a bunker, then the bunker has to be built back here, and that's just awkward. If you can hold without a bunker, then it's fine. But it's not 10-15 gate, so I guess it's kind of a moot point anyway. Where's the Zlot? Oh, the Zlot's at the wall. Can it sneak in? No. No. That's a Zlot tight. It's not link tight, but it's Zlot tight. Just one gateway for White. Factory on the way for Quikz. White really wants to get in there with that Zealot, but the laws of Brood Order just say no. And they are apparently stronger than the will of White to just walk his Zealot in. And there is a Nexus for White, as expected off of one gate. A quasi-greedy Nexus, taking it off of a single Dragoon. And the CC starts now for Quikz. tank and gonna defend with siege, so not the usual FD way of playing. Gonna play it super conservatively. This used to be the way everybody played, you know, 10 years ago, 12 years ago, whatever. And then kind of went out of favor as people realized, hey, you don't always have to wall off like this. You can get mines out, you can have option for early aggression, plus just the general security of having mines is kind of better than siege tanks, and you're not so damn passive. Not that this style doesn't work, but it's less common these days. The tank wants it. So both players really want to do things that they can't do. The Zealot really wanted to get in. This tank desperately wants to kill the Zealot, but it's not allowed to. Now it's going to siege up. Can probably shoot the Zealot now. The tank gets its revenge. That's some good sieging right there. Can basically defend almost all the way to here. Second tank sieged up. Quikz has his natural up and running. Corner depot here. We're getting a starport. Oh, this is classic Quikz. Who would have thought Quikz would ever do a vulture drop? Who would have known? That's almost as shocking as Leda going 2-port Wraith at TVZ. And for white, it is going to be Le Tubes Arbiter. Now, if this was like one base fact port, this would actually be really scary for white because you don't get a lot of units to defend, you don't get fast obs, etc., etc., etc. But off of 2 base, white should have enough economy, and the delay in timing and such should give him the ability to defend with his Dragoons against this, if he positions correctly. There's a good chance this will still do damage, though, from Quikz. Because there's just not going to be that many units, and they're probably not going to be in prime defending position, as this usually comes as somewhat of a surprise. Most Terrans don't really drop this early and fast, and it'll just throw you off. So there's a chance it'll do some damage, but it shouldn't really do terrible damage to white, barring some major mismicros. But the lack of robo so far is an issue. That's one of the things that can make this build that Quikz is doing kind of strong against this 2-base Arbiter, is those vultures getting in with all those mines, and you don't have observers up. It's really hard to defend with your goons because you can't even just be like right-click them back. And the fact that nothing is going on, I'm glad to see that white is pulling these Dragoons back, but it's also a little worrisome that he has these Dragoons over here, because there are less Dragoons he's going to have to defend at home, although he's going up to 4 gateways. Dropship should be done, right? Just about. Quikz looking for a scan. He's going to be pretty happy seeing what he's scanning. He's like, oh, there's no robo that I'm seeing. And he's only got 2 gateways, just now finishing up a couple more. But Dragoons are way out of position. So if he can lay some mines quickly around the gates and then just go harass the probes, it's a good chance he can get 10 probes, which is more than worth it. And he's going to get, if he hasn't already with a scan, he's going to get a blessing in disguise. He's going to scout the fast Arbiter. Arbiter energy ought to get started here sometime soon, because Arbiters without spells are crap, and logically the correct decision is to get Arbiter with energy first, as it basically just gives you a faster stasis. And you have extra energy capacity once you do, but no tech being researched for this Arbiter. Actually, this Arbiter is going to be kind of nice, though, because it'll cloak the pro. I didn't even think about that. This Arbiter might... If Quikz takes too long with this Arbiter is literally going to some extent, save white's life, because it's going to cloak the pro. Actually, Quikz has scans. It might not save his life. He's got energy banked. So here we go. White is out of... Oh, white on top of those reactions runs the probes immediately, so this should not do that much damage. He's got 1 probe, he's got 2, he's got 3, 4, 5. He's going to get 4 or 5. There's a DT out, no surprises there. Nice for mine dragging. Might even blow up all of the vultures. And now just 2 left to run around the base. Quikz trying to pick a few off, but realistically not going to get many. So not the best of trades for Quikz, especially given the general hit to units and economy you take doing that. You want more damage than just 3 or 4 probes and donated vultures. So white is going to be pretty happy with that. There we go. Now he's got... Oh, he's getting recall first. How interesting. I like it, but I'd still think I'd rather see energy first, because it's objectively better, because it'll make your Arbiter pop with that much extra energy, and you still always have time for the whatever spell you get to research. Alright, so we got Couple tanks sitting in the main. Starting to macro some tanks, loading up the dropship. Another 4 vulture drop coming from Quikz. Quikz loves to drop, idolizes Mr. Fantasy, who we all know is known for his vultures. Of course, the real trick to being a good vulture player, in my opinion, is knowing how to move your vultures and drawing Protoss around. Like, when I get really worked by a good Terran, it's not ever the first drop or even the first vultures that really do critical damage. It's the way they move them, the way they know how to probe and find the weak points, and they're always drawing you off to the wrong spots and then showing up at other ones. Stuff like that that really makes for Terrans that are fantastic vulture players. Alright, so this is useless. I guess it's going to kill his lot. It's literally, I don't think it's going to get a probe. Cannon finishing. There we go, nice little slot split. Alright, but we got to drop over here, which is... drill the vultures. He's got 2 probes. He's got 2 probes, but he's only going to get 3 or 4. He got a decent number of probes. So that wasn't worth it. This one here wasn't worth it, but the one over at this base, yeah, that was worth it, I guess. 3 or 4 vultures for like 5 probes. That's not bad. So just trying to harass the hell out of white right now. And he's not doing a horrible job, but he's not doing a good job. I would say best case scenarios, it's about a wash for Quikz. But I feel like it's probably a little bit worse than a wash. Gonna add a science facility. That's a common response to 2-base Arbiter, to basically stay on 2 bases and get fairly fast vessel of your own. And it looks like white is up to what, 6 gates now? 6 gateways and the Arbiter. Got 2 Arbiters. He's got recall. Interesting that he got recall first and hasn't recalled, but I guess when you're busy running around to and fro fighting vultures, you're not too incentivized to take your remaining units, or all of your units, your defending units, and recall them. White doesn't have a huge economy given the timing of this game. The point, we're at 12 minutes, and this base is a bit thin. This base looks, well saturated. At least 2 groups of probes, but this base is just a little over a probe a patch. I'm seeing about 12 probes. Yeah, just a little over a probe a patch. And this base is only just starting to reach saturation. And white is actually behind its supply, so this is doing better than I thought for Quikz. And he's got a pretty beefy tank-heavy army, to be honest. This is not an army that's just high supply because you're spamming vultures. It's just generally solid. I wonder if he wants to recall slots onto this and go for a break. That could work. The only problem is there might be enough tanks with just one group of goons. The goons would basically evaporate before the slots are even recalled. So Quikz picks off the observer. And let's see, dual forge, so basically white getting everything. Seems to be the way he likes to play his PvT. I would describe it as a little on the greedy side. It seems to focus a little bit more on getting a whole bunch of tech out before he explodes with gateways and units. And Quikz is already defending very, very seriously against recalls. So it doesn't look like there's any particularly glorious place for white to place a recall, and honestly Quikz is big enough that a bad recall would cost white the game at this point. And Quikz is going to expand to a 4th, which is completely open and vulnerable right now. Completely open and vulnerable. Is that the double gas 4th? Yes, it is. Richness in gas over there. Doing a little bit of sweeping with that vessel, looking for obs. There's going to be a ton of arbiters here for Quikz, which is great. And it looks like Quikz will run smack dab into these dragoons with these vultures over here. Now white is going to come out and take a 4th of his own. So Quikz with actually a faster 4th base timing than white. And that's kind of reflected in the supplies. Like I said, Quikz very, very close to white there in supply, just 10 or so behind. Whoa. Whoop, I didn't really intend to do that. Thought that was kind of entertaining. Please recall to kill this. Ah, come on, you missed a chance. Let's recall like 2 goons and clean it up. Alright. So that little vulture harass amounts to very little. And it is just macro up time right now. We know white doesn't like to bust in, which is fair. I can understand that sympathy. I'm a little surprised he has not opted to recall, but I guess I can also understand not wanting to stake the game on a single bad recall, getting obliterated to mines or just recalling the wrong spot, and you lose 2 control groups for very little damage, and then Terran just counter pushes. Especially when you have all your gates concentrated in one base. It's one thing to do like a recall like that when you got 3 or 4 bases running, 5 bases running with gateways at 2 of them, but when you got everything at one base, you know, a mistake and Terran just pushes to your natural. I can understand not wanting to stake the game on that. Oh, look at that. White on top of it though with his stasis. Should pull a few Dragoons back to block that guy off. That's actually kind of cool that he was paying attention to that because he was also clearing mines out. These are good colors for spotting on the minimap though. It's like really easy to obs these 2 colors. Like brown on this map is like you have to have fucking observer eagle eyes, but with like red, if you miss red stuff on the minimap, nah, you only got yourself to blame. You're just doing bad obsing. There we got the patrol vessel just waiting for the arbiter to come. Yeah. To be honest though, this would be a good time to push if like White sent back a ridiculous number of units. I mean, if Protoss sends back a control group and a half of Dragoons to deal with your dropship, just start to push, and there's no way Protoss can get his army in position. Like, Quikz could have pushed to at least here or further before White could have even thought about gathering his goons and going for an attack. And I mean, Quikz is at 200, so he kind of... That dropship could have been good for him, in my opinion, if he would have taken advantage of that army movement there from White. But now it's just going to have to be just kind of straight up. Quikz trying to get all his tanks hotkeyed up onto the high ground. And White is... I thought he was maybe going to dive into this base, because it has basically no defense. I didn't realize this base only had a 1 choke entrance, though. Damn. Alright, we're going to have an engagement. White is charging, and I don't know if this is a very good engagement. White is fighting an uphill battle in a tight space. Congo line zealots. Got a lot of army. Does have some good stasis, but that is also a lot of tanks. Actually, is there enough here? Maybe this engagement is going to work out for White. Wow, I did not see that working, but the stasis are good enough, and there's not enough supporting cast of vultures, and White is taking a fantastic engagement right now. I don't quite understand how it happened, but it is great. Just needs to be careful not to overcommit right now. As long as he can stay up here and pick off these clump tanks, it is a huge win for him. If the tanks unsiege and this army dies, then it's kind of still 50-50, half dozen. But it looks like White just wants to keep driving forward, but he's got to reinforce to go for this option. He's got to reinforce. He's getting a few more tanks. Throws down another stasis, picking off the vessel, but the mines are going off, and he will get this tank back here. But now he absolutely needs to pull back to this place. And oh, he mistimed his pullback! And this ends up being kind of a wash for White. So close to just a ridiculous victory, but doesn't quite get it in the end. And a relatively even trade for both players. Relatively even game right now for both players. Both sitting a little bit, probably a little bit uncomfortable for White, to be honest, because White only has, whoa, like harass tanks. Will they get off a good shot? And not really. Tank has found its way out to here. Siege is up. Looks like this is more Quikz domain than anything. Actually, wait, where do you enter this base from? What the hell? I'm missing something. Oh, over here. Okay, this isn't really Quix's domain. Never mind. But he has gotten a tank over there, and White is going to need to do something. Or he's, oh, he's targeting the pylon now. Whoops. Whoops. Yeah, the fact that Quikz has 4 bases and White only has 4 is actually probably a little bit uncomfortable for White. It's got a nice bank. But like gas, it doesn't have a shit ton of gateways. It's got some nice double upgrades going at 2-1 compared to Quix's 2-1, so that's decent. Where are Quix's armories? I just wanted to there we go. Oh, whoa. He either just got 3-2, No, he's got a long time to get to whatever, so white is actually ahead in upgrades subtly. Alright, and Quikz is remaxed and ready to go again. He's got those 4 bases up and running. I'm a little concerned this base is so gloriously recallable. But it doesn't look like Quikz wants to play it that way. It looks like Quikz just wants to push down here. And mine sort of has units all over the... White sort of has units all over the map right now. And we'll see what he can get done with this. If he can hit some more of those excellent stasis. Those zealots are actually coming in from a good angle, so this is pretty good. That's a lot of shit to stasis at the front, though. Oh, but there's actually a place for the zealots to walk up. And it looks like white is taking another pretty damn good engagement here. Just eating up this army from Quikz. Quikz sending in a bunch of reinforcements. That is a ton of vulture reinforcements. Quikz needs a little, or white needs a little bit more dragoon support, but he wants to go over here and attack this barracks instead. That was pretty bad. That was pretty bad. That army should have just finished off this spot, but again, white misses a chance. Like, he's still taking fine engagements. He's not hurting himself, but he's missing the chance in each engagement to go, you know, commandingly ahead. But now I don't think he's, well, can he get enough reinforcements in over here in time for the unthaw? It's not looking like it. Nope. Nope, I don't think. Nope, they unthaw. Pull the vultures back. Not quite, but these slots are going down pretty quick, and now there's just a boatload of tanks on the high ground, and white is going to have to move back. He's still got plenty of dragoons alive, though. Should be on zealot macro. Oh, he's missing some macro, though. Rough time to miss macro. Rough time to miss macro. Quikz has an opportunity now to push, as white does not have sufficient reinforcements. And we can see Quikz is annoying the hell out of this Nexus. He can actually finish it off with these vultures. But Quikz just needs to continue to push right now, and continue to, of course, reinforce. A little bit slow on the reinforcements can always cause problems, and white realizes this base is in big-time danger. He's going to evacuate it. Quikz is going to go finish off this Nexus up here. And in the meantime, white is going to Maynard probes over to this bottom side of the map. Looks like he's going to get a macro round of zealots out. And Quikz is just slowly working his way. Yeah, we can see vultures have finished off that Nexus now. And Quikz is just slowly working his way down here, finally in range of this. Don't attack like that. Well, those 2 tanks are going to die. Getting a little bit ambitiously ahead. Looks like Quikz has gathered some of his army together now over here on this high ground pod. White's still not opting to risk anything on recall. Quikz is approaching his 3-2. White should have his 3-2. Yes, he does. Has not opted to upgrade further, but good upgrade position for Protoss. And a minesweeping group of dragoons moving around the map here. Seeing that Quikz, hey, he's like, hey, Quikz is sitting on the ridge. I can afford to take some dragoons, go sweep some stuff out. And all of a sudden, Quikz is like, oh shit. By the way, I don't have any defense at all letting me go into this base, but yeah. But I guess he's not going to go and defend that, or is he? I don't know where he's going to go. He's going to give up this position on the ridge. Oh, hopefully the rep isn't bugged. Sometimes pauses fuck shit up. So we will see what happens. Macro often gets really badly messed up. But white is max, so right now we don't expect any macro to be happening. And where does Quikz go from here? Looks like he's got 1 tank in a very annoying position down here on this Nexus. And I think white is scared to go in there, so it's probably going to succeed in killing this Nexus. Even though it's just 1... Oh, he's actually just killing the pylon. Never mind. Can he hit the Nexus? Yes. Alright, so we're going to have a big engagement over here. Quikz sieges up, not too many tanks here at the front. And we've got a nice conga line of zealots coming in separate from the dragoons. Will we hit some good stasis? Not so far yet. These dragoons are not really helping out in the fight. And these zealots are just dying to the vultures immediately. And it's the first bad engagement we've seen from white, with a few dragoons sort of heading off in the wrong direction. But they are trading decently efficient with these vultures over here, although Quikz should be sieging these up soon. And let's see, is there remacroing happening from white? Yeah, it looks like there is. So maybe we're okay as far as this rep goes. Some nice mines being laid by Quikz, and that will be all she wrote for these dragoons, I would assume. Okay. They're going to work their way over to this base. Going to work their way up on top. And in the meantime, Quikz is going to push down here onto this small army. Scans going down. Nice EMP. It looks like this rep is okay. Not seeing any weird army movements that don't make any sense or any signs of lack of macro. Would suggest so far to me a bugged rep. And it's not looking very good for white right now, to say the least. It looks like he's starting to lose grip on large portions of the map, and Quikz is still comfortably mining away on 2 bases. Just needs to get a CC started down here, and it's all good for him. This base, though, makes me a little bit sad. White has definitely missed some opportunities to risk a recall on this base. And now Quikz is going to split a few tanks down here. But it looks like White, with those number of arbiters and units, 3 tanks coming down here is not going to get anything done. Probably just going to stasis this. Yep. Nice EMP goes down on that arbiter. Although a little too late. And Quikz just kind of collecting himself. Arbiter going for a little bit too much of a chase. It's just so annoying when this happens. You're just kind of like going, ah, your head, go away, you stupid thing. You're like, where's my Goliaths? Actually, I don't know. Scan goes down, but not quite at the right timing. Actually, this might be bugged. I don't know. This is seeming a little bit overkill, and all of a sudden Quikz is like not reinforcing at all. And is he even making Goliaths? He's making like 1, but that seems a little weird when you're getting banged at by an arbiter. Yeah, it's starting to feel a little weird now. Stasising at weird times. I mean, maybe he's going to run in here, but let's see. It doesn't feel right to me. But we'll see. White is running in here with an attack, that much is for certain. Quikz is sending down some reinforcements. I mean, maybe we're bugged, maybe we're not. It's like 50-50 right now on it. These arbiters are definitely not doing what you want. White does have his army up here, although Zealots are getting horribly, brutally trapped. Is he going to take this engagement over Quikz, or are these reinforcements going to be sufficient? Actually, there's some pretty serious stasising going on over here, but Quikz has pretty good spread on his army. I don't think White is going to bust through the army here. And it looks like some of the Dragoons from below, maybe this will be enough, but will the reinforcements get there in time to take the entire army? This time it looks like maybe White has gotten it right, and he will actually clean up entirely the army of Quikz. Yes, it looks like this time there is indeed enough Protoss. There's not a reinforcement coming from Quikz. Actually, there are a few Vultures. No, White will not clean the army up. Quikz will again just ever so slightly hold that position down below. Or will he? Or will he? I guess White cleans it up just fractionally. Quikz is going to need to expand, though. White, unfortunately, still not mining from this functional base. Gets rid of that last tank over there on the low ground. And White is just very, very low on money. And realistically, Quikz needs to get down here and just take out this base, and it's all his. Although White should start mining from this one. But Quikz still mining from 2 bases, although he's pretty close to running out. Really, Quikz just needs to come down here. It would make logical sense, take out this base, take this side of the map. Once he secures that, he's got the game in the bag. But right now, it looks like Quikz is just going to macro up. Laying a few mines with these vultures. And White has macroed up 1 more army. It looks like it's about his last army, as his mining is incredibly thin right now. And Quikz is going to go in here on this Nexus. I don't think White is going to let that happen. No, he is not, and Quikz will run those vultures away. Quikz, just go kill this base! You've got a lot of shit. A lot of shit. You got too much shit, to be honest, for White to deal with. Well, White is at that desperation point where he's making a shit ton of Archons. And he's going to take this base. So this should force Quix's hand. He doesn't want to let White have 3 bases down here. Yeah, we can see the army now maybe starting to move a little bit south for Quikz. Hotkeying everything up, looks like he's finally ready to go. Vulture's trying to find a few probes, but plenty of army there from White to deal with that. And yeah, finally now we have the army of Quikz moving back down into the center again. A lot of Archons. Of course, Archons get really shitty once a single EMP goes down on them, so if there's no EMP, they're great, but Quikz has a lot of vessels, so should hit some money EMPs, especially once he sees this. This is like the most ridiculously EMP-able cluster I've seen in a long time. God, please go EMP that. Quikz, no! EMP all that shit! It's like 3 Arbiters and 5 Archons just all sitting right on top of each other. It's like ultimately EMP. Look at that, just EMP, just boom! Everything. This is such an EMP-able cluster. This is like a Stardom cluster of tanks for stasising. Alright, here we go. White definitely has to clean this out to have any chance of winning. Actually, Quikz is just... this is like terrifying to think about. These tanks are just like looming at you from the high ground. This is like unbreakable. I mean, White's going to attack this, I think, but he's going to get murdered. It's just... there's no way you're going to beat that setup. He's going to try to... oh, I thought he was maybe going to try to recall or something, but... here we go, White with his final engagement, but there are tanks all over the high ground, Vultures in good positions, the Archons are evaporating, and it leaves only a few Dragoons, not many Zealots making up the ramp, plenty of Vultures to deal with them, and it looks like that is the end of the army, and that should be more or less the end of the game. Quikz should just come down here now and win. A little bit of a macro slip up here from Quikz, as there are no reinforcements. Quikz swinging around to lay mines on this side, I don't really know why. I guess to be annoying to reinforcements, but when you're this far ahead, just aim move that shit. That no siege where you're so far ahead, you know you can just unsiege everything 1A, 2A, 3A as Terran is like ridiculously satisfying. Does eat a mine, but White's... yeah, White still has occasional macro slips. It's probably the biggest thing I've seen hurting both these guys is a little bit of a lack of reinforcements. I've seen plenty of points where I was like, man, if there were just reinforcements, I would totally change the battle in favor of one or the other. Now it looks like this mining base is about to go down, but Quikz moves back, slowly moving his tanks in. And White says, yeah, GG, don't have enough. So Quikz takes game 1, or game 2, depending on how you want to look at it. Which means that we are tied going into the final game. And it is not just the final game of the series, it is the final game of our entire cast today. White versus Quikz for all the marbles on Blue Storm. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, 0. Do we even know how to count? Probably not. In the bottom left-hand corner as the Teal Terran, we have Quikz. And in the right-hand side as the Yellow Protoss, we have DM White. Quikz says, GG, yo. 2 long, hard-fought games. Both players are probably like, man, those are taking a toll on me. Both games over 30 minutes in length. We'll see if either player cracks and just says, I'm going to cheese. I'm going to cheese. I just played 2 30-minute games. I need to do something different. But knowing Quikz, I don't think he will. And I don't know White super well, but my impressions are that White is a pretty macro-oriented kind of guy too, so I'm not really expecting him to do anything super sneaky. Pylon goes up. And Quikz is going to make a depot. He's going to wall off again. Quikz likes his walls. Then we're going to see Quikz. I'm going to see Quikz doing a fact port build. I feel like we should get it at least once, right? It's one of Quix's classics, iconic Quikz build. Nexus? No, we're still waiting on minerals. Nexus for White? Probe hasn't been sent out to make a gateway. Okay, there it is. Nope. Yep, maybe? Okay. It is just going to be a gateway. And Quikz is walled in. Should be taking gas sometime soon. Like 30 minerals soon. And boom, the gas will go down. It's been a long cast. It's like 5.5 hours. I haven't gone this long since like ASL, or not ASL, like ISL days. But I guess that's what happens when you have 21 potential games. And quite a few of them have gone long. Sparkle, just by default, tends to produce games that are at least average length with easy potential to go longer. And then we've had some extensive TVPs, not just in this series, but I believe earlier as well. Probe and SCV passing each other by, but there's a wall, so this probe is not getting through there. Oh, I thought for a second he was going to try to pylon glitch himself through, which would have been pretty baller if you could actually pull it off. But he wouldn't see anything of note, he'd just see a factory, which is standard. Standard shit. Cybercore, no harassment lot in this time. So just straight into Goons, macro opening for white, and factory from Quikz. Now, are we going to see... I need to keep on gas. Oh, okay, he's not going to go starport. Sad days. That would have been fun. Range starts for white. And oh, well. Maybe we are up to something down here in the bottom position. Alright, so SCV is going to be chased out. Will he be suspicious of a missing pylon? Because there should be one more at this point for Protoss, and there is not. Just a robo being built. Command center for kick. That is like... See, this is the other thing that's not as great about this. Like, if you go FD, your command center starts slightly slower. Probably starts more at like 28, 30 supply. But you can build it to your natural, so you don't have to float it. And it ends up being a little bit faster economically in almost all positions. Plus, you get map control. So it's interesting to see Quikz playing this way. Especially when he's just playing standard opening. Like, siege expanding is kind of odd in 2018. You know, if you're getting siege or something, so you can do... Wow, that actually looks trippy. I've never seen that before. Look, pistons going? Like the gears, but I'd never observed the pistons before, and it's kind of mesmerizing. Anyway. Oh, look at this, though. Look at this! He's found the robo. So Quikz knows there's going to be some shuttle shenanigans. And to be honest, he's going to need to send a Dragoon down here. Yeah, he's got to move his Dragoons across the map. Now, if Quikz was vulture dropping right now, which he's going to at some point, but imagine if he would have gone fact port and white was doing this, he'd be so fucked. So we got starport for Quikz, so he's definitely going to be thinking something with drops. No surprises there. So it's found. He's going to kill this off, so Quikz was suspicious of the lack of pylon and checked the usual spot, so to speak. And here comes his lot down. Oh, but he's only got one slot. You need 2 slots if you're going to make this shit work. His lot will get down there in time. Alright. Bunker goes up for Quikz. And I guess the starport's not bad. Should see a Wraith before dropship. And then just pick off that shuttle before it even tries to come in. Although it looks like he's going to kind of dance around with it. But he's going to have to be at the robo to get the Reaver. So if Quikz just pushes the shuttle by the Reaver... which makes me kind of surprised, in all honesty, that white hasn't left his goons over here. Because right now this is utterly campable. And there's no reason Quikz won't at least go over there and check with the shuttle. And we got 2 gates. Oh, he wants to pressure at the same time with this Reaver, which is interesting. Oh, this is close, but oh, the Wraith is too late. Okay, never mind. Did not get the Wraith out fast enough, so white will be able to get in and do some harassment. Well, let's see if Quikz is ready with the reaction times. Reaver goes down. Oh, he's running in at the same time, which is going to be a little bit scary, trying to distract him. But the SCV pull is there. Good scarab on the tank. Unfortunately, the bunker is there and is doing its job, but the repair is not there on the tank, which I guess is a good thing because the scarab went down. But the Zealot's being sacked, and now the Wraith is out, so that's pretty much it for white's harass. He did get a couple tank kills, but... Oh, don't give more SCV kills. Oh, is he going to get the bunker? Is he going to get the bunker? He's trying to get it. You gets 2 more SCVs, and he'll get 2 more than that. Maybe not. Maybe not. Okay, so he gets 4 kills on the Reaver and 2 tanks, but for 2 Dragoons, 2 slots, and a shuttle and a reaver, so I don't know if that's that good of a trade. And now he's just got an SCV killing the Robo, which is an issue because White's going to have to rebuild the Robo. And he starts his Nexus, but Quikz is pretty far ahead right now. This is a pretty good situation for Quikz. Adding 3 factories. Is he going to go ahead and opt for drops, or is it just the starport to defend the Reaver? It's looking kind of like the latter, but knowing Quikz, we'll see drops at some point. Need to transfer a few more SCVs back to this. There we go. Could have transferred a few more. Can leave them at 1 per patch. But it looks like he's transferred. That's good. That's good. Good number to transfer. Natural base up for White, who is going to 3 gates, being forced to rebuild his Robo. Cleaned up. See if he sends something back to kill the pylon later. Just leaves it there. And White's just going to take a 3rd. That is ballsy. That is ballsy. Taking a 3rd. This far behind, having done nothing with his Reaver. Well, I guess White is going to hope that Quikz is passive and not coming for some super aggressive build, but unfortunately for White, it looks like Quikz wants to be pretty aggressive. And this is a 5-fact timing that can definitely work. Although White has added a lot of early gateways, so he might be enough on top of his gateways. Well, I don't see how he can afford this, to be honest. It doesn't seem... I mean, I guess his probe count is decent because he expanded late, so maybe he can afford it. But we'll see. Looks like it's going to be 1 fact with rallied vultures. Interesting rally points rather than at the nat. Alright, is Quikz just going to rally and go? That'll be a cute little timing if he goes now. In fact, that'll be a really good timing if he goes now. There's not that many Dragoons. And White, yeah, White cannot produce out of all these gateways, especially with wanting to make probes at his 3rd. Perhaps making them just a little bit on the early side. See supplies very close to equal. White getting his 3rd base up. Maybe Quikz is going to make a round and then go, if he's going to go, he should go soon. So White has, 6 gateways, getting his Citadel. Should be remaking a shuttle, I guess. No? Just, oh, okay, yeah. And alright, here comes Quix's little attack. Just needs to get all his rallies set up. It's a trickier map to rally. You cannot just set your facts and rally your facts across the map like this. If you do that shit, then all of a sudden you're looking at all your units trying to go through here and they won't fit. So you have to rally to here and then manually bring them over to here. So... What? That's interesting. It's an interesting idea. I'm curious to see if this works. It is very methodical, it is very slow, it is very Quikz-esque, but I'm worried it's too slow. White has 3 bases, the timer is counting, and while you can siege the tanks below here and get to the 2nd base this way, it's certainly not the way to push the 3rd. Like, this absolutely has to be an intent to push the natural. So Quikz is obviously going to get murdered up here on the high ground. The bunker over here, though, is cool. It offers some nice support against the shuttle. Like, where he's positioned now is good, but there is a decent chance that just Zealot Stream through this choke can deal with some tanks that are trying to siege over here, which is exactly what Quikz wants to do. These tanks are a bit far away to be protected, though. So he is now in range of that Nexus, so that is actually okay for him, because it is delaying mining. So this is working out okay now, because now White is basically a 2-base Protoss, which fights pretty evenly with a 2-base Terran. Right now he's able to make stuff out of his gateways. Let's see if he can get his macro cycles a little more on tap. Still has the shuttle for harassment. Let's see how long some of these gateways sit empty, if he's crisp or not. Yeah, because these are the moments where when you're missing your macro. And this is decent miss. Yeah, still nothing here. His money went down a little bit, but he missed this gateway in his cycle, I guess. But at least 10 seconds without macro. And when you're fighting a push like this, you really need constant unit production. He's doing a good job being patient, waiting to get out a few more units. Don't really know about this. I guess it's an interesting idea. White is out of position, so Quikz is going to trade damage in the main, maybe, for his push getting slaughtered on the high ground. See if, oh, yeah, we'll see if it works out. He's got a good timing for it, although the cannon is done. Lays a few mines, which is annoying. Now let's see how many probes he gets. Just one? Oh, okay, this is maybe not what I thought I was going to see. There's not much here. White says lol. Realizing his army's way... I would have maybe just considered attacking this and defending with reinforcements. He's got a cannon there. Vultures... Oh, there's a gap there. So the vultures are able to slip through. And now I guess White is going to go for it on the ridges? He needs to soon or his Nexus is going to die. And he can't really afford to lose that Nexus. Although Quikz has scouted the base down there for White, who has not proceeded any further with his tech. And I see no sign of a Stargate. So it is kind of a useless archives. Adding a 7th gateway now. Quikz is operating off of 5 factories. Some trapped vultures down here. But Quikz is again just kind of, well, with this base let down it's not so bad. But he's going to have to do something here soon because he's letting White sit with a 3rd base. I guess if he takes his own 3rd base, he could just camp from here. I didn't really think about that idea, but having killed that base especially, he could just now camp. Take this base, and camp. And be basically ahead of White, taking 3rds at the same time, but with the advantage of already having established a very strong high ground position. But he needs to get a few more tanks in his army at some point. Oh, he's dropped 2 tanks over here. They didn't give very many kills, though. I did miss that one. There's the main earning probes and a little bit of White's army coming back. So she should see a return of probes here shortly. Oh, this kid's gonna go down here and harass. Oh, holy shit. Oh, fuck. This is not good for White. If only Quikz was a smidge faster. As long as he goes over here. He's got... This is so undefended. Oh my god. Oh my god. Quikz! God, Quikz! Go! Go! Don't give him time for the cannon! Right, I think I heard something loading up or unloading. But I don't see any harassment going on over here. But here we go. This is going to make White cry sad tears. He's going to be like, oh, fuck. Should be complete probe gen... Oh! Actually, Quikz did not get that perfectly. He's still going to get some of them. But he does not get what he could have, although actually, never mind. In hindsight, he is going to get all of them. But with the end of the chase rather than the beginning. So gets a nice solid 10 or 15 probes, completely shutting down mining over here. And of course, in the meantime, he's taking this base. So we can see his supply is sitting quite good. Where's the dropship? Or whatever it was I heard loading up. Maybe it was just a bunker. Now Quikz has added a few factories, has 2 of them with add-ons. 7 total. White is working off 7 gateways, can't really afford more as much as the harass is making him have to run around. And he's being forced to play without a 4th base, and right now really without a 3rd base. He's kind of resaturated it. Whereas Quikz has a comfortable-ish 3 base. Surprised he's not putting this one down. And really, okay, for some reason Quikz just doesn't want to take this base. I don't know why he doesn't feel safe to take it, but he doesn't. And this is probably our Stargate. What the hell did I just do? How did I... What? How do I get off this? Damn it. Alright, how do I get... I hid vision. I do not understand how what I hit to do that. Shit. Alright, hang on. I'm gonna pause. Literally someone tell me how to fix this in chat. How do you fix this? Click White's name? Where? Oh, right here? Is that? Oh, that's easy. Okay. Alright, sorry. Alright, Quikz is now moving down over here, going to gradually creep his way to the bottom of White's ramp. Still has complete control of the map. I mean, this is really a tough position to play from White. All Quikz now needs now here is a little bit of... Oh, he's going to go carriers. Interesting idea. I don't know if he really has the resources to make it work. And as many bases as Quikz has, he should just be able to throw up a boatload of turrets and switch into Goliaths and be good. And he's, of course, outsupplying White now with his full 3-base macro kicking in, and White having been restricted for so long. A few vultures running up to check what's on the high ground. Finally finishing after this pylon. It looks like Quikz wants to take all of the bases on the map. Kind of odd that Quikz has not put down a CC here. I don't know what he has against this base, but he seems to hate it for some reason, and White is just absolutely choked back and in a terrible position. And let's see, where's Quikz want to go now? He has not left actually very much over here, so this actually offers White an opportunity, if he goes for it, to move his army around over here and clear out some of this stuff. But it looks like he actually wants to go for a push now, does Quikz, and shut down this last mining base for White. Feeling comfortable, feeling like he has enough stuff. He's sneaking his way around. This is actually, I'm not totally thrilled with the sieging. A lot of these tanks are low ground and not really going to be able to help the front take, so White might take a good engagement here if he can get his army together. The downside for White is his army is just obviously smaller. Alright, now if he gives Quikz time to bring these tanks up, it'll be less good. But White is missing an opportunity to come in here and attack. He's going to finally clear out these tanks, which will allow him to retake the space. Certainly a good thing for him. Quikz still has something against this base, I don't know what. And here we go, is White going to pull the trigger? He needs to soon. A few of these tanks are out of the battle now. Seems like a pretty decent engagement pattern for White. Can he get some good mine drags with the front zealots? Yes, still has a lot alive. And this looks like a good engagement here for White. Going to clean up the majority of these tanks. We'll see if he splits some of these slots over. Yes, he wants to try that. And they will get nicely on top of the tanks. And nice patience by White, just letting them do their thing. Quikz having good target firing, though. He's going to clean out most of those zealots, but mine can eat the rest of the tanks. Or White can eat the rest of the tanks. And that is a start for White. It is a start. Wow. That's kind of interesting. But White, again, having these macro issues where his money just runs awfully high. And now he's going to move over here, clear out some of the minefields in the center, which is good, because these minefields are ridiculous. These areas are so annoying when you're playing PvT, because you just have no idea what's going on. You don't know how deep the army goes, what's over here. You can't send obs into it because of the turrets. Needs an observer. Oh, this could be really scary. Okay, none of the mines off, though. There's enough goons. Now it's going all right. Alright, White retaking that base and clearing everything away. A few Goliaths have been made. The carriers have been spotted. Whoa, holy shit, carriers. Batman. Never mind, I guess that's some of the reason White isn't making a ton of units, because he's trying to get these carriers out. Quikz has obviously spotted them now as the Goliaths are coming, as well as a wall of turrets. And now we can see it is White with the supply lead, and Quikz actually doesn't have a lot of money. I don't really know how, but Quikz doesn't have anything. White is somehow in a good... I don't really understand how, but White is somehow in a good position. Like, Quikz can't push. So now Quikz just has to play the carrier game against White. And now White is getting his fourth base up and running. He's comfortably got 3 running. Quikz still doesn't have this one. So this could get tough for Quikz. Carriers are annoying to play against. That's not what you want to do, though. Yeah, I gotta wait for those interceptors. Gotta wait for those interceptors a little bit. Gonna draw the Goliaths up towards this base, and Quikz is just gonna start spamming those turrets everywhere. Everywhere. Gonna pick off this barracks for sure. Just continuing to macro those carriers. Missing from 2 Stargates unless he's holding back to make sure he also has some sort of a ground army too. But he's got a lot out now. Gonna finish off that barracks. And I don't know, I'm worried for Quikz right now. It's like all of a sudden he doesn't seem to have the ability to make anything. I can't understand why. He's got 4 bases. His production should be higher, but he's flat broke. And sitting on 300 minerals, it just doesn't... It feels wrong, but somehow White's carriers are getting the job done, picking off some Marines here, going to pick off the turrets. Quikz is in danger of losing this position because this is not even high Goliath numbers, and if this is all the tank count is, it's possible White will even pull the trigger with his Dragoons. And if he can snipe a couple carriers before he does that, then he will absolutely push Quikz off the high ground pod, giving him access to Quix's 12 o'clock base, as Quikz has not left any tanks back there. And he's got a lot of stuff back here. I mean, if he just picks off a couple tanks, even right now he might be able to run up, but if he just picks off a couple tanks, then absolutely he can just run up and clear out that position. Carriers coming back in. The Goliaths are back there. I'm gonna grab the turret real quick. I'm gonna grab the other turret and then probably just pick off a tank or 2 and possibly go here. Vulture's coming in, trying to get some harass done. Has killed one of the cannons, but the goons are coming in. He should be able to pick off 5 or 6 probes before he goes, but at the same time, the carriers are getting on top of the Goliaths. This is not the place to park your carriers, but Quikz is really focused on probe kills. Maybe now he's just noticed his Goliaths, and his Goliaths have taken quite a lot of damage. They were just fighting interceptors as they kind of do by default rather than targeting the carriers. And now White cleaning up some tanks on the ridge. Having a little trouble with his carrier micro, though. His interceptors are not constantly flying. They're kind of sitting in weird positions. I guess he's just trying to camp them here. And wait, does Quikz not have Goliath range? Okay. It just didn't look like they were shooting very far. Running back. But they are getting cleaned up. I think Quikz is in danger of losing this. And yeah, GG from Quikz. There we go. I don't actually know if he had range or not. I mean, he should have. Nothing was researching, but his carriers weren't exactly behaving, and White will take that one 2-1 over Quikz as our last set of the day, and by far our longest set of the day.